Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. These Hermès Paris loafers have been on my wish list forever. I've been searching for the perfect pair of white designer loafers for over a year, but everything either felt too chunky or overdone. So as soon as I saw the Hermès Paris loafers, I knew they were going to be the ones, as long as they felt like they were going to be comfortable when I tried them on. I'll get to why these stood out to me, but rather than stand here with a box in my hand, let me show you. They come in the iconic orange Hermès box and individual dust bags. I keep my shoes out on the shelves, but I do keep the dust bags and use them when I'm packing in my luggage to help protect both the shoes and then my clothing so they don't get dirty from the soles. The reason I like this style so much was because of their sleek shape, the subtle 1.7 centimeter heel and the H hardware. And I just feel like it's such a classic style that won't date. When I'm spending this much money on a pair of shoes, I want to make sure I can wear them for more than one season. I knew the price would be better in Europe on these, so when we booked our trip to Rome, we made sure to add a stop at the Hermès boutique for some duty-free shopping onto our itinerary. Now, the first thing you're probably thinking is they don't look white, and I'm actually really upset about this as they sold me the wrong color. I asked for white, and somehow it was the beige glacé, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that they gave me. Now, in the store, I thought they looked a little off-white, and I did say something, and they said it was just the store lighting and that they were white. And I didn't even realize Hermès made another shade of white/beige, so I didn't know any better, as there's absolutely no name or information on the box. So it wasn't until I came to make this video 2 months later and looked at the website that I saw that Hermès made a true white blanc, which is what I'd asked for and wanted, and a beige glaze that I didn't know about. And then I checked the receipt and realized what they'd done. So a very expensive mistake, but here we are. I'm just going to have to go a little colorblind, and I can still review everything about these shoes with you because they are a beautiful pair of shoes. So in this video, I'm sharing everything you need to know before buying Hermès loafers, from sizing and comfort to how I saved by shopping duty-free, even if they're the wrong color. When it comes to sizing for the Hermès Paris loafers for women and whether they run big, small, or true to size, I actually ended up sizing down a whole size. Now, I wasn't sure about the sizing when I tried them on in store with their shoe liners, as that was causing them to slip on the heels. I started by trying on my usual size 37, which actually felt way too big, so then I tried the 36. One foot felt absolutely perfect, and the other still felt a little big, but they convinced me that they were the right size and they could always just use an insole in one side if that felt too big, versus if they were too small, there's really nothing you can do. So once I wore them with regular ankle socks or seamless loafer socks, they feel absolutely perfect. So personally, I find they run big because I sized down that whole size. However, some other reviews say they run small, that they had to size up. I think it might have a lot to do with foot width as well. So trying them on in a store in person is going to be your best bet. So are the Hermès Paris loafers comfortable? The white Hermès Paris loafers I was supposed to get are made from calf skin, and this color is made from goat skin. The material of the Paris loafers does vary by color, so you might want to check that when you're looking at the colors too. Now, it is the softest goat skin. I'm always looking for either goat or calf skin, not lamb skin, because it's more durable. So yes, they do crease across the front very easily. Literally, from the first time I tried them on in the store, it does make them look like they've had more wear than they have. But on the plus side, it also means there's less breaking in period, or at least there wasn't for me. I wanted a pair of loafers as a comfortable alternative to sneakers or a little bit smarter, and I did wear them around the house for a whole day with socks to try and break them in before braving them for the airport and flight to Saint-Tropez. But I felt like they really didn't need much breaking in. I find them a lot more comfortable with socks than without though. When I wore them new in the heat and humidity without socks, I did have some friction spots, not blisters, but you could see where they'd rubbed a little just on the heels, versus when I was wearing socks, I didn't have any issues at all. So how much do the Hermès Paris loafers for women cost? So this is where your research really comes into play, especially if you're able to travel, because they vary so much from country to country, how the exchange rate is, if you're able to pick them up duty-free. I picked mine up duty-free in Rome, which saved me over $400. I'll pop a link below in case you're interested in how to do that. But one of my top duty-free shopping tips is to do your research and price comparisons from country to country ahead of time and see how much you'll be saving, as sometimes one brand might be a lot cheaper and another more expensive than when you're from. For example, Hermès is a lot better priced in Italy than the US and the UK with the current exchange rate and duty-free tax back. So are the Hermès Paris loafers worth it? And I feel like this is such a personal question, and it really depends on so many factors, like how much you normally spend on shoes and how much you'll wear them. To me, they were completely worth it, as I think they're such a classic style that won't date, and I can wear them until I've worn them out. I got them to be a chicer option than sneakers for things like summer city breaks and lunches and running errands. And if you're worried about preserving the leather, I have shared some ways to preserve your Hermès leather on the blog, which I'll link below as well. If you're wondering what color to get, the Hermès Paris loafers come in 15 different colors, but I'd recommend a neutral like black or white or tan if you're looking to get the best cost per wear out of your designer loafers. The reason I wanted white, even though that's not what I ended up with, is because I wanted them as a summer flat I could wear with everything. If you're considering buying these Hermès loafers, I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think of this color, if you buy these white or a totally different color. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one.